What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to some daily content where you get to watch me suffer through a workout. And today on the docket, we've got ourselves a two-part workout, so you get to watch me double suffer. It's amazing. So, let's go ahead and get started. We are off in 3, 2, 1, getting it. What are we doing here? We are doing a 50-foot handstand walk, so down and back. Then 10 alternating dumbbell snatches at 100 pounds. And then 10 parallel handstand push-ups. We will keep doing this. We will start at 10 parallel handstand push-ups, but we will keep doing this, but drop the parallettes by 2 every round. So it'll go handstand walk, 10 dumbbell snatches, 10 parallel handstand push-ups. Then it'll go walk, snatches, 8 parallel handstand push-ups. Walk, snatches 6, walk, snatches 4, done. We're not doing a walk, snatch, and then 2. But again, the dumbbell snatches stay the same at 10 every round, and the 50-foot handstand walk stays the same. The only thing that decreases is the parallel handstand push-ups. So let's delve into the workout. So the parallel handstand push-ups are at a 14-inch deficit. It's the only parallettes I own and the only parallettes I swear by. I've seen a lot of people use different parallettes and sometimes stack plates and put ab mats on it. And that's great for like doing strict parallel handstand push-ups and changing your grip, you know? So like, instead of doing strict deficit handstand push-ups and your grip's always like this, or your hands are always like this, when you switch to a parallel, it's a little bit different of a muscle group, a little bit different when you go from here to here. And so it is nice to practice strict parallel handstand push-ups, and you would use those plates and those ab mats to create space or to create it, make it a little bit easier. For me, when I'm doing kipping parallel handstand push-ups, I don't change the deficit. I only either, if I'm doing a parallel handstand push-ups, I'm going at 14 inches. I'm not going to put plates and an ab mat below it. I've honestly never tried. That is probably not a great idea. Like, let me caveat it and say, like, if you only ever practice strict handstand, this is an example. If you only ever practice strict handstand push-ups, right? And you never practice kipping, well, if you go compete and you're allowed to do kipping, then you probably aren't gonna be great at it, because just because you're good at a strict movement doesn't necessarily mean you're good at the kipping movement. It's not like it's not like it doesn't conversely mean the same thing. Like, I'm good at strict, therefore I'm good at kipping. Not necessarily. Because it's a different movement, it's a different movement pattern. And so it probably would be a good decision for me to practice kipping parallel handstand push-ups at a smaller deficit. But we don't do it, we only ever use a 14. I swear by it. I think once you go to the games, you pretty much only use a 14. I know the Rogue Invitational use a little bit less than that. They stacked up plates, but again, like I mentioned previously, they did strict parallel handstand push-ups, so a little bit different. So that was a long aside. Let's get into the workout. So, approaching this workout, we're doing a 2-part workout. Like I mentioned, the first part is this kind of gymnastics heavy dumbbell snatch piece. And what Andrew's trying to get me to do is to really transition fast. I will caveat and say this workout we did, I think it was last week. So if you notice, all the fans are on pointing at us. I believe right now the temperature in the barn is approaching like 118 degrees. That includes heat index and humidity. So it's a little bit warm. So you're gonna see me probably break just to essentially wipe my hands because my hands are so stinking sweaty. And I actually just like yesterday, this is gonna be a shell shocker for a lot of you, but I actually invested in a pair of things you put on your wrist to stop sweat from going in your hands. Man, I sound super intelligent right now. Those things like almost like socks you put around your wrist to stop sweat from going up in your hands. Yes, I invested for the first time in my life yesterday and got a pair. And they worked great. Honestly, they were amazing. I'm not sure why I didn't do it before. So this workout, he's trying to test my ability to transition. We're trying to focus on that. Transition between movements, right? Instead of wasting time. The difference, like I mentioned before, is like it's going to be a little bit difficult because it's so hot and I'm so sweaty that I'm probably wiping or chalking in between movements. When it comes to the dumbbell snatch, I approach it the first round by trying to go unbroken for a set of 10. It's kind of a dumb idea. Like, if you can do fast singles, there's nothing wrong with doing fast singles. Like, you have to ask yourself, Can I do all these specified reps unbroken? If it's a yes, then maybe you should go unbroken. Maybe it'll save you time. But if you can't, if you have to break because you know you're not gonna be able to do all 10 or do all 8 or do however of that number is, maybe you should ask yourself if singles are a viable option. I think my first set of 10, I think I did 7 and 3 or 6 and 4. I'm not really sure. You have to go back and watch it. And so, yes, my first set of whether it was 6 or 7 was fast, but was it so fast that, you know, the rest I took between that and then finishing up, was it worth it? Yeah, you have to go back and kind of like time out a set of singles and then time out my first set and see if it was worth it in the end. So here, you can see I'm switching to singles and focusing on that faster transition between them. I don't think I'm able to do all 10 unbroken. I think I take a break and then come back because this workout is focusing on lockout, right? I have to lock out with my handstand walk. Then I'm forced to press and lock out a dumbbell snatch. And then I'm forced to press and lock out a really deep parallette handstand push-up. So it's pretty difficult, not gonna lie. Let's see, I think what round are we on here? I think we're on the round of 6, I bet. So after this workout, so we're finishing up this kind of gymnastics piece workout. After this workout, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. And then we're gonna go into an air assault bike wall ball workout. It's gonna be a sprint. So we've been doing a couple of these, about one every other day using the air assault bike. Personally, I don't think we're probably gonna see an air assault bike at the game. I think you're probably gonna see a bike erg. And I say that only because Concept 2 has always been a large sponsor of the games. Now we always do see an air assault bike, so maybe it will be there, I don't know. But in this case, we're doing an air assault bike sprint workout about once every other day, or one every other day, I should say. And in this case, we are doing a 40 calorie air assault bike and then 40 wall balls for time at a 30 pounder. I don't remember the time cap. I think it's a 4-minute or a 5-minute time cap. So it's a pretty aggressive time. I think it's a 4-minute time cap. So it's a pretty aggressive time cap for the fact that you can go ham on the air assault bike when you have to ask yourself, how's that gonna affect your wall balls, which we will get into that after we're done with this workout. So we are finishing up my last handstand walk. I'll be approaching my 10 dumbbell snatches at 100 pounds. So let's real briefly jump into how would you scale this specific gymnastics workout if you're watching this. So how you'd scale it. If you cannot handstand walk, if you can handstand walk, do 50 feet. You know, if handstand walking is really difficult and you have to break like every 2 feet and it takes you forever, then maybe just do 25 feet, okay? Focus on that, keep the intensity high and moving through movements. If you cannot handstand walk, then one option, I've got a video on how to become proficient at handstand walking. And in the video, which is like in a how-to playlist on my YouTube channel, on this channel you're watching, we discuss options for scaling handstand walking. And that includes like, you know, grab a friend to like hold his hand up and walk with you. And that's not always an option that's really good to use because you might not have a friend there to help you. So one other options we have is we like set a box up, and I've talked about this before. You set a box up, put your feet on the box, your hands on the ground, kind of in a Pike's Peak position. You know, if my feet are on the box, right? If it's the box right here, my feet on the box and my hands are on the ground, you're kind of walking around the box, kind of in a circle almost, in a somewhat handstand push-up position, but your feet, you know, your toes are touching the top of the box. And that's an option for it. And that's what I would recommend for the handstand walk is walk around the box a few times, you know, something easy to still practice handstand walking concept, but you aren't really handstand walking. And then scaling options for the dumbbell snatches, obviously keep the reps the same, drop the weight. So if you have to drop to a 70, fine. If you drop to a 50, fine. If you drop to a 35, if you're a female, fine. Just drop it, keep it intense. It shouldn't all be unbroken. The next thing you should do is a parallel handstand push-ups. I would keep the reps the same there. Also, I would just drop the deficit as far as you need to go to make sure they're unbroken somewhat. Like you probably should be able to do your 10, your 8 unbroken, maybe your 6 and your 4 are gonna fall apart, and that's fine. But just drop the height as much as you need to. If you have to go all the way down to the floor and do kipping handstand push-ups, that's completely fine, but let's keep it as a kipping movement and not as a strict. So we're on the second workout here. Again, like I mentioned, I did a 5-minute rest after finishing part A into part B. Again, the time cap for part A, I don't think I mentioned it, was 10 minutes. So I didn't rest the 15-minute mark. I instead, when I finished it at, I think I was like around 7 or 8 minutes, whatever it was in the first workout, I took that time and then I plus 5 minutes and then started at the nearest like 30-second or 1-minute mark on part B. So we're doing a 40-calorie air assault bike and 40 wall balls and a 30-pound. I'm not gonna lie, that air assault bike was a little bit slow. I don't know what day, this might be a Wednesday, and so it's kind of nearing the end of the week and my legs are getting thrashed. So one of the things we're doing right now is, and this again was a week ago, one of the things we're doing right now is we're trying to get my legs back underneath me and that confidence, and so we're really attacking them. And so it's just a constant leg thrashing every day almost, to bring them back to full speed once I get to the games in a couple days. And so the air assault bike wasn't super fast. I mean, yes, some of you might be thinking, well, 1 minute, 30 seconds is fast. Well, I know I can air assault bike 20 calories per minute pretty averagely and pretty easily. And so then that therefore works me at 2 minutes for a 40 calories. So I was hoping to get around like a 110, a 108. But in this case, I died pretty hard on that bike. But you have to ask yourself, is it worth hammering the bike and then breaking the wall ball? No, I would recommend hammering the bike, but keeping something held back. That way you can go unbroken or a large, maybe 2-setter of the wall ball. I don't have Andrew's film of him doing the workout, but he actually had to break the wall ball, and so that's where the difference lies in. So with a 4-minute time cap, I easily have 1:06 to spare, which is pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, caveat this, obviously, if you guys watch most videos, Andrew's there counting for me. But in a workout like this where we're trying to waterfall it, waterfall because we only have one air assault bike, or no, waterfall because we only have one 30-pound wall ball. Waterfall meaning start at different times that follow each other. I don't have him counting my wall balls, so I don't know. I think I did 40. It might have been plus or minus a few reps, so you have to go back and count, but I'm pretty sure I did 40 or somewhat close. Might be like 36 or 38, whatever, like it's hard to air assault bike really hard, get off and do wall balls. If you were gonna scale that wall ball, air assault bike wall ball workout, part B of this 2-part workout, obviously for the 4-minute time cap, if a 4-minute time cap, the first thing I would probably try to scale would be the wall ball. I'd keep the air assault bike the same because the goal is to stress it and spike your heart rate. So keep the air assault bike the same. Obviously 30 calories for the women, 40 calories for the males. But the first thing I would scale would be, in order to finish in a time cap, would be the wall balls. So if 30 pounds is like really difficult, if like you can only do like 5s or 8s, then I would drop it to a 20. If you feel pretty proficient about the 30-pound wall ball, then keep it. But I would start scaling the wall ball first, and then I would keep the air assault bike the same because the goal is to keep the air assault bike as the stressor of the workout. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out and watching this 2-part workout with me. If you want to click on a video or watch a video similar to it, click right here. Other than that, thanks for hanging out. Talk to you guys later. See ya!